Whoa! We're live with the Gremlins! Come on!
I'm Money, joined by that Gremlin. What's up, Pegasus? How you doing? Welcome to the Teamstream. We're doing the best team in OCE for the 2v2. How we feeling?
Yes, we are. Look, I'm feeling good. I woke up bright and early over here in the UK. I mean, after both of the time zone changes, actually. It's a completely acceptable time for anyone with a normal job. But that isn't me. I'm awake and I'm not here to fornicate with arachnids. I'm here to watch some good rock.
Yeah, that is throwing me. Chat, welcome in. We're doing the RLCS 2v2 stream. If you haven't been following along on my stream, the Gremlins are the team that we are taking a look at this afternoon. They're a pretty good side. We'll get into the business end after, but that's the first time I've ever heard someone say fornicate with spiders. Arachnids. I'm so glad you're here. That's really made my day. Thank you very much. Welcome in, chat. I hope you're all doing good. I hope that's taken you by surprise as it's taken me by surprise. But I've lost my train of thought. That really threw me off, Pig.
Look, how about we just look at a Swiss stage just to get our mind off things a little here. I mean, understandably, you know, I threw out something pretty huge as my first line over here in OCE for quite some time. But you know, I had to create a statement because we got a great team in our hands here. I mean, 3-0 through the Swiss stage. Had a bit of trouble in that first round, but from there on out, 6-0, clean as you like. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, you know, the Gremlins, as you can see, did have that rough start, as mentioned. We just say that was nerves, and when I say nerves, it wasn't the team nerve, but better, it was just nerves. And by nerves, it probably wasn't nerves. The Gremlins weren't actually that nervous. It was just, you know, a slow start to the day. Elsewhere in this Swiss stage, though, there are a couple of teams that look as though they could do some damage, which you'd expect them to do. You've got the MM side. I think I named them the Monkey Moon supporters. That's Mock and Amphis. They were our team in the 2-0 stage. They look pretty decent. Could be a team to potentially cause some upsets later in the event as well. I think they should be one of those top sides, as well as Scorchy and Zombie Freak going through the ZS logo there alongside the Gremlins. Aside from that, you know, there's some teams you can look at, but overall, I think we sort of saw the teams go through that were expected, and I believe we can have a cheeky look at the other group as well, which I have got to be honest. Well, no, we're looking at our bracket today. I lied. This is the group for the other bracket today. I thought we were looking at the Swiss, the other group, but I was wrong. So we're looking at the Group B for the GSL stage, of course. As you can see, Nerve But Better are in there. MM are in there as well. A couple of sides that should get the job done, but I mean, you are the experts, Pegasus, so who's standing out to you in that group?
I mean, I guess, bro, only because the name is fantastic, and that's what I like to go for in 2v2. We've had lots of excellent names during this stage because there just aren't enough orgs for these 2v2s, and that helps the creativity really stand out for a lot of these guys. And then we have ZS, a bit of a show of you know, some of the less creative players that are over here in OS.
Look, you have named the team that's probably going to be at the end of this the worst goal difference against them, and I mean, I guess, bro, I'm going to be completely honest with my prediction there. St. George as well, a team that have taken over the NRL type branding names. I think that's primarily due to Kaka being a part of that roster. That is, I believe, Kaka and Fiber, which is a very solid roster as well that we expect to be potentially causing some problems later down the line. But let's have a look at our group for the GSL stage, which is the one that really matters at the end of the day. We are the only team with a logo. Thank you to me for choosing that logo, and thank you to Hazza, our producer, for putting it on the stream today. We have Post up in our first semi-final round. Bogans and KK should be a decent matchup as well. As you can see, Killua Hype as well. That is Fever and Torsos, a team to look out for. But anyone, aside from those guys, you know, I can't give you a layup here. Aside from those guys and us, who are the team to look out for?
Look, I got a story for you, Money. This is my first time in OCE. I've only ever done OCE once, and it was for an org called Unforgotten Esports, and who played on that team was Jimmo, Remick, and Creed, which is why I'm looking at that BGNS. I've got some experience with that player that was also coached by Clown at Sandwich, and the reason that I didn't cast that team for that long is because they offered to pay me about the price of a Vegemite sandwich, and they still didn't. So yeah, I left them. My one experience with OCE was low-key getting scammed, but now I'm back and I've never held it with the region. Always loved the region. I tell you what, they deserve at least 6 spots.
The culture of our region is just scamming people, I suppose. Good shout. Also, it's funny you said their name was Unforgotten because I have forgot about them. So that's a rough one. Yeah, no. Anyway, that is the rosters we're looking at in our side of the GSL. Of course, Killua Hype as well, a team to look out for. But I think that's something we expect to see potentially tomorrow or even on Sunday as well. But that looks pretty straightforward for us today. I'm going to be honest with you, with post-up in our first matchup. Hogan's KK waiting potentially for a matchup later today. But post-up, I'm keen to see this roster because there's a little bit of content, I think, happening over there. I don't know if they're streaming. I don't know if it's a YouTube video. But let's have a look at what we are talking about. It's Gremlins. It's PU, which is kind of a funny abbreviation when you look at that one. But it is what it is. Of course, you got Caleb, you got the Kiwi, you got the Aussie as well, and Gus. 2 players who are fantastic in the 2v2 arena. But as I was saying, you've got the content on the other side with Tims and Cobo.
I've been told, though, not to underestimate Cobo. 25 years of age. They've been around the scene, but still have the capability to do something special this next series. You said Teams is a bit of a content creator as well. Still good enough to make top 16 over here. What can you say about Tims' quality?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think he was more like a bubble player before he was a content creator. So I think he gets away with one there in that sense. He's sort of gone that way. I think he's close to the 50k mark on YouTube subscribers, so he's pushing up there. You know, a little bit jealous over here, but Cobo, as you mentioned, a player not to be disrespected in OCE. Such a well-known player, such a historical player of OCE, but in particular, let's talk about our boys, the Gremlins, Caleb and Gus. I mean, they are looking pretty toasty at the moment, and they're a team that we expect to do very well this event.
As everyone knows, I'm the number 2 biggest fan of the Bulldogs. It was my favourite stream to watch just before APAC started, and usually I'd have it on another monitor whilst I would be doing that stream. So obviously it's an absolute pleasure to be able to cover him alongside yourself. But, I mean, Power as an organisation are eternal. Of course, Gus is going to be that representative on the side of a team. This team loves to play for content, and content is exactly what we're going to get, especially with these opponents.
Well, it is a Bulldogs and Power combination for the Gremlins. Caleb and Gus hit the field for the RLCS OCE 2v2. It is PU on the other side with Tims and Cobo. And it's time we get into the action for Game 1 of the GSL.
One of the favourites over here in OCE. A few other teams to look out for, but ladies and gentlemen, the only team with a logo is the only team deserved of that top spot over here in Oceania. This is going to set the standard. This is that message sent over to Blast, over to Epic, that OCE deserve a world spot in the 2v2 playlist. Gremlins to lead the charge, to take on post-up, to kick off the GSL stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it is without further ado brought to you by myself, Sir Pegasus and Money OCE. We have kickoff.
And it's brought to you by Hazard Prod as well. Don't you forget that very important key to this picture. Post up against Gremlins. This is a roster that, you know, we sort of spoke about in Cobo and Tims. I'm expecting them to potentially provide some content, but overall, I think at the end of the day, the team that you're expecting to score these incredible goals, incredible plays, are going to be the Gremlins. Caleb and Gus, 2 of the most mechanical players going around in OCE. They've come together for a 2v2 roster, which should absolutely do some damage.
I've had a great taste of the mechanical abilities of the players over here in O. So usually in the cool watching plays of the week being made by the one and only Hazard Prod. I hope he's got his clipping software ready, because Caleb has just provided another.
Oh, it's just beautiful, isn't it? The placement is precise from the Gremlins, exactly what you expect. These players are so capable of scoring from pretty much any situation. You'll see Caleb go for those plays off the back wall. You'll see Caleb cut inside and look for those slippery sets. for post up. It's a matter of making sure that it doesn't get too far out of hand and potentially grab one or two whenever opportunities arise, because you don't want this game, this series, to get out of hand. As Gus had a strike, it was denied, but it was straight back into his path, and it's immediately 2-0.
Well, you want to talk about content, a comeback from 2-0 down against some of the people's favourites over here in OC would certainly be impressive, but Tim's, you've got to make it a little bit less obvious than that.
Well, unless he's looking at potentially doing, we came back against the best team in OCE. This is not the start that they are looking for a video title, perhaps. Tim's a player who has had his moments, hasn't necessarily been playing as much as really expected from him, to be honest, in the previous season. Timmy as well, for those that might not quite know who Tim's is, but I'm sure if anything, you're going to know Tim's more than you're going to know Timmy, as he finds just want to bring them back into this. They're looking to cook something up, find a response, and Tim's has done that on the little ground dribble.
It's a lovely catch, though. Barely any boost from his own line. Timed it perfectly to get forward. Doesn't have to tap that break too much either. And it just keeps the ball cushioned so nicely on top of his car. It's a wonderful way to get a goal back. But I know that the Gremlins like to have these starts in a day. Oftentimes when I'm on the money stream, I see you sweating earlier in the season. But as time has gone on, you start to get a bit more used to this.
Yeah, you know, there's a sort of level that you expect from these guys, and when they're not quite performing at that level, you go, well, let's not panic too much at this stage. Tim's from out wide will cut that one across. The point that I was making about Tim's before he so rudely scored that goal and cut off my point about himself was that we haven't really seen him in the 3v3 this season. He had a couple of performances early on in the Boston split, but aside from that, he kind of went missing. I think there was a hint of potentially, you know, maybe playing somewhere else. I don't know if it was a team that might not have been performing, or if he went and just stopped playing for a time there. But he didn't really keep on performing, and that's something that is slightly concerning, because I don't think Cobo had the best of seasons either. That being said, his best result coming in the Open 6 with a 5th to 6th spot for the Daddies. So that's a great roster there. But aside from that, I mean, these guys haven't been performing to the level that you'd expect from them. Maybe a matter of not even participating, but at the same point in time, I mean, you want these guys to be getting some results that potentially could sway your opinion against two of the best 2v2 players in OCE.
Gus and Caleb could give you a moment here, but that's a heavy touch over. Tim's will bite for bait, opens up some space here for Gus in a one-on-one. Caleb waits behind to challenge later. It's a great recovery, though, coming from Cobo. Tim's has been absolutely faked away. Caleb doesn't fall for the same tricks. It's high up for Gus. Caleb already rotating around that back wall. Isn't going to find anybody, so just gets himself back, regains possession, and post up. Got to be ready for the post up.
He's very good from these positions. Caleb, I said, you've got to watch him on the back wall. Look to do something from that position. Couldn't quite catch it. Now Gus will with a reset. Takes it low. Tries to find the back wall again, setting up a potential follow-up from Caleb, but Tim's the first to react as Cobo will send that down into the midfield. Will easily be eaten up by Gus as he looks for the sidewall skim, just not quite connecting. The Gremlins, they're looking feisty at the moment, but they're not quite finishing off the plays they're setting up.
Cobo does well to delay his touch. Already beats the first man with that decision, keeps the boost as well, but a block is good from the Gremlins defender. And that just leaves Caleb with an infield pass opportunity. They'll go for the pinch. It's straight down towards the corner. Just 1 minute 20 to go. Gremlins still with the lead. But post up definitely had their fair few chances, even if short-lived.
Oh, it hasn't felt as dominant as you would expect. Maybe a goal here if it goes in off the post. It doesn't. Could have made things feel a little bit more comfortable. But the Gremlins held to 1 goal difference right now. Not really what we expected. Caleb will grab that boost, but he has to turn away. And Cobo looks for the play up high. That's going to drop off the ceiling. It's going to be a quick response from Gus, and that demo from Tim's just stops them in their tracks. But they're really struggling to get any chances moving into the opposition half at the moment post up. It's all been spent in positions like this where Gus has the open net, and post up get caught again.
They've been waiting for an opportunity like this for quite some time. We haven't seen the chance for the 50s high up the pitch. But when it goes in your favour, you just immediately eliminate one of the players on the pitch. And with a teammate already playing so high up, that's essentially a 2v0. And Gremlins shouldn't be missing those chances. But, you know, I've seen some of the clips from Wildcard. That's a shot from deep. 3-2 for post-up. You don't have a third man this time.
Well, you get out of that point. That's one to just make it a little bit closer. But you did sort of hint at something there about Wildcard. I want to hear that thought. Where are you going with that thought?
I have seen some incredible clips this season. I've seen the greatest highlights and I've seen the greatest lowlights from OCE with, of course, the wonderful Hazard doing the producing over on the OCE mainstream. I get to see some of the content he makes, and the top 5 lowlights have really been one to witness. And I'm hoping that we get some tonight, even if it comes from the Gremlins. You know they're just going to win anyway. I mean, look at the quality they're showing us so far. But I want the full OCE experience whilst I'm in the region.
I'm sure you'll get provided with just that. The Gremlins do take game 1. I mean, the scoreline, a little bit closer than we were expecting. It felt close when it was a 2-1 scoreline. They both managed to grab 1 extra onto their scoreboard by the end of the game. But, I mean, we did have this conversation when we were doing the TSM stream, right, about how those guys were expected to get at least 1,000. I said at least 1,100 points. And I will say that Gremlins, I know one of the players, I can't remember who, did get to that mark. So that's the expectations. They didn't get there in this game, but potentially a bit of a warm-up as we see these highlight plays again. I mean, that was fantastic to kick us off.
Excellent. Sets the tone really early, proves that they've got those mechanics warmed on for the rest of the day. This isn't a Swiss stage. You don't get as many chances. Instead of first to 3 to win or first to 3 to lose, it's first to 2 to win or first to 2 to lose. Little bit of a different journey to get that exit, and that requires an extra layer of efficiency, especially with the tougher opposition over here in top 16. I'll tell you what, I was really impressed by post up. You said that there necessarily isn't as much freeze experience there, but 2s is that main game mode, and you're going to see some 2 specialists. I believe we're witnessing some 2 specialists over here on the opposite side. A close first game, but we'll see what we've got going in the seconds.
Yeah, they have history in the 3v3. It's just a matter of recent history hasn't quite been there for post-up, whereas history in the 2v2 and in the 3v3 arena has been there for the Gremlins. I'm not quite sure how that one's been kept out, but I say that the history, the ability from the Gremlins, 2 players that sit atop the OCE ranked ladder, although they probably don't right now. Gus! Well, that is a way to introduce yourself into game 2 from his own corner. I do not mind it one bit with the reset, with the play over to the top, but it's 1-0.
It's just an opening minute buff over here for Gremlins. They get that chance up high, and post up have just been forced to accept it in every single occasion. It was one goal that looked like it could make the difference in the game before post-up immediately looking to take that goal right back. By the way, it also started off with an opening opportunity from Gremlins. We were wondering how they couldn't score. Now we're wondering how they could.
Oh, Cobbo, he might be able to make something happen here. For post-up, he just left the ball behind. Unfortunately, you kind of need that to score a goal, as Gus will find Caleb waiting down line. It's 2-0 for the Gremlins very quickly. You know, I've spoken all season, going back to Gus's opener. I mean, he gets the assist here. We expect Caleb to score this, but going back to that opener, I've spoken about on the mainstream all season. For some reason, Gus on Forbidden Temple is another beast. All of his clips seem to come on this map, and it's happened again. He gets an assist, he gets a goal. It's a fantastic start for the Gremlins, as it's a double fake from both sides. I think it'll fall the way of the green team.
Tell you what, it's a great map to hit your clips on as well. Just makes them look even better. Don't have to use a map swapper plugin or anything to have those good shots with these gorgeous flip resets. How about a shot into the near post? That will certainly do.
Oh, that is... I mean, it's a banger, but at the same time, when you look at that speed, not quite a banger, thanks to that stop from Cobbo. It just didn't really have the ability to completely stop the ball. It was speedy enough. That's why it was a banger. The reason it wasn't a banger was the speed at the end of the whole play, as Cobbo looks to get back underway. Post up, they look to just steady the ship a little bit, which Tim's couldn't quite do there. Caleb will flick that one up for himself. Wants to get back to it. Potentially a double. Drops it down. Tight angle. Cobbo with the stop.
Well, hold on. Reset here. Bells away. Cobbo is going to be demoed off. There's a second bump as well to follow. Good eyes from the Gremlins, man. Great catch from Caleb as well. It's off the crossbar. Gus is facing that opposite direction. As defense prepared, holds it down on the left-hand side. Infield pass pinches over to Caleb. And they tried absolutely everything to get that ball across the line. Post-up have done well to defend. It's their turn to attack, but Gus tries to rip the controller right back off them. It's low boost overall for post-up, but Caleb is well suited for this counter.
Couple of opportunities for post up. They haven't quite been able to get anything clear-cut on target. They're creating more chances to move into a dangerous position as Tims will collect the full boost and gets a 50. Sets himself up high. Half a tank to work with. Might want to reset. No, takes it low. And Gus had that one red the whole way. Tims back to Cobbo. Midfield ball, and that's, again, it's just so dominant from the Gremlins. Every single time post-up look to set themselves up, it feels as though the camera pans and it's immediately either Caleb or Gus pouncing onto it.
And there he is again. Gus in possession, doesn't get a reset once. To trickle that ball past Tims doesn't happen. Outlet pass will find Cobbo. It's a good first touch. The backboard is free. The angle is tough. And, well, I misspoke. Never should I doubt Caleb on an off angle.
Absolutely, you should not. That's something I could have told you from all my experience watching him this season. He just somehow has a way to make magical moments as Tims looks for one of his own. Caleb with the stop out wide. That's a bit of a giveaway. Cobbo will get a chance to center it again. Tims there might find a bump. He doesn't. Chances starting to flow in favor of post-up, but it's going to leave them vulnerable like that, and Caleb will get himself a hat trick, and he's quietly creeping towards that high 1,000 point mark.
That's what we like to see. We set the standards high in APAC, and they've got to be higher over here in OCE, but for the time being, 4-0 for the Gremlins. They are feasting. It's corner for Cobbo for dinner, and Tim Tam Slam for desserts.
Oh, that's fantastic. Good job.
Thank
keep
you.
that up.
Thank
I want
you.
more of that through this stream. Yeah. And it shows. That is a ridiculous touch from Caleb. I think Tims will be there. He's almost somehow scored a miraculous own goal, which is exactly what you're looking for. A cycle attempted from Gus. Caleb will drop it back to him. I cannot stop my sentence because every time something new happens. Are they setting them up?
Where am I? They're going for another! Oh, look away. But what am I seeing? You know, I had the opportunity to commentate the likes of Swift and Yan over in South America, and I complained that they did not go for enough psycho plays. Little did I know, the strategy was to go over here to OCE. This has been incredible.
What?
Look, I just don't understand. I mean, the world flipped upside down, but I guess that's normal in OCE.
What is that kickoff strategy? Gremlins, talk to me. I don't know what is happening there. And look, you say all you had to do was go to OCE for those psycho attempts. All you had to go to OCE was to see this play twice in a row, apparently. I do not understand what is happening. It's almost a 4-3 game. It isn't. But I think finally things have started to settle down, which is exactly what I'm in need of.
Why are we denying this type of gameplay from the world stage? I'm sorry. Only 4 regions getting a 2v2 spot. If you want entertainment, if you want spectators, OCE should be the first name on that list. This has been an incredible time already, and it's only game 2, ladies and gentlemen. 6 goals in the second match. Still 30 seconds to go. It's a good pass. Back over to Gus. Cobbo is going to be there for the first block. Caleb and Gus both doubling up at that front post. 100 boost is there to fight for, but it's all between the same 2 teammates. Caleb up high. It's been Gus claiming all the clips, but sneaks down under 1v2. Not going to get past the old guard.
Say that Gus has been claiming all the clips, and that is true, but Caleb has been scoring a majority of the goals from the Gremlins as well. He's doing the dirty work, I suppose. Gus has been scoring the important ones. Although, I think Caleb's going to have to get into some action here if he wants to reach that 1,000 mark, and he's absolutely left the ball behind. Potentially something for Gus to help his teammate out on. He doesn't. Gremlins drop the ball down, and that will be game 2. As expected, it is looking as though a sweep is on the cards. Maybe not as expected is some of the goals we've seen in that match.
And someone from the Redirect Esports chat, shout out JHDR, said most chaotic game of all time. Is this normal, Money? Because
it's just a warm up.
I've got that similar experience right now, being all away from EU. Look, I've casted in every single region, but there's that little bit of an asterisk next to OCE, having it only been 2 streams. This is my 3rd one ever, and I am truly getting my feed. The piggies are getting well fed.
I think this is just a warm-up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think we're going to see more and more. I don't know what that was for. No one can see the face that Pegasus has just made except for me and Hazza. But you don't want to have missed that. I really don't know how to explain the face he made. Can you repeat what you were doing there potentially for us?
It's just my face, Money. I mean, it's just rude, honestly. It's just I just look like this. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't make me sound like a bad guy, all right?
I would ask my mum why she made me this way, but she's already gone off to work, and I think it'd be rude to call her. She works in a school, man. Like I can't interrupt her while she's working in a school. It's not good for Ofsted if she's caught on her phone.
We're into game 3. And, post up. They're looking to find something going their way because they haven't really yet. They've scored a couple of goals, haven't they? But aside from that, they haven't really kept themselves involved in the game. They've scored goals when they're sort of down and out almost. Gus, sidewall, skim, not found. And I think overall, we're just seeing the dominance from the Gremlins that we expected. That's a nice 1-2-1-2, but no knockout found.
Oh, but Gus was a player to double commit with him, but it was enough to pick up about 100 boost. Puts him in a great spot. It's another excellent cut-in rotation from Gus to keep the ball close, but now it's Caleb up high. We've been guaranteed a clip to open up every single time. Is not going to come from that aerial play.
I've just been blinded by Hazza on production. He's put a picture on my screen when there's a chance to score a goal. And no one's going to believe me is the worst part about this. Caleb gets a reset, drops it down to the ground. Just continue on as per normal, I suppose. From the sidewall, Caleb gets a reset, tries to get back to it. The pace is there, but he won't really control it as was necessary.
Gus is it back towards that right wall. Is low in boost, but Caleb is going to lay that pass up nicely. Doesn't reach the head of his car. Cobbo takes a bit too much time on the ball. And he can't take time with Gremlins on that opposite side. It's a quick pass into the corner. And Caleb is up so fast for the infield pass. Tim's actually jumped so early and it's still not enough to even get a touch.
Well, the Gremlins, they've let us down. You set the standard. They were scoring a clip every single goal to open their scoring in this series so far. And that one was as simple as they really come for the Gremlins, which is very unfortunate. But in terms of the score sheet, they'll be very happy with where they sit. Caleb, that is a fantastic touch. Gets the reset off the ceiling and will leave it. Gus, the communication coming through from the Gremlins. Can he dunk it in? No.
Caleb not going to grab that second touch. It all falls down to Cobbo. Gus intercepts much earlier. Tims with Cobbo on that far post, but Caleb just camping back near. Prevents it from falling in a favourable way. Now it's a redirect attempt. Time flip reset to carry it through. Gus has to be there to poach it away. Still stays low even after the initial miss. Does a fake on the own back wall. Cobbo does recover well enough to keep this ball in possession. Still Gus at that front post. Beats his way through. Caleb is up just in the nick of time. And it's covered to cut yet again. It's been a close game through and through, but once it's gotten to this box, Gremlins have done so well off the ball to make post-up awkward.
Yeah, they just know where to position themselves on defense and on offense. Caleb tries to dunk that one down. Tim's with low boost. Both players on post-up with low boost. That means Cobbo has to stretch and make that stop. Gus to the ceiling. Has plenty of boost to work with. Takes his time. Still has a reset. Uses the musty. And it's 2-0 to the Gremlins.
This is a ridiculous level of consistency. Every single game, Gus gives us a new trick to follow. And I'm dumbfounded every single time. It's been quite some time since we pulled off that last goal. But my goodness, was that way worth it?
Oh, the Gremlins. They know the way to score some clips for us. They keep on doing it. They did it all through the Swiss. They did it all through the double elim. And so we get through the GSL. As Gus, well, that's an awkward one. Might give a chance to post up to find something. It'll be cut off, and that should be a way back in for the Gremlins. Almost trying to find a third. Couldn't really send the players necessary onto that ball. But post up, I mean, it's a long way back. You've got a minute and 30 seconds just about left in this one. That's almost another to the tally for the Gremlins. But they've struggled to score goals. They've scored, 3 across the first 3 games, with none of them coming in Game 3. It's been a matter of just really Gremlins being a class above. That's a good touch from Gus. Might set up teammate in Caleb again. It's not. The post-up, they have struggled to find goals in incredibly important moments. Well, that is one. It's a nice pass. It's a great shot. And they're back within 1.
You mentioned the clock, and with every second it dwindles down, it adds to that weight they can feel on their shoulders to make that comeback. 2-0 down in the series score. They get it when it counts. 1 minute and 13 seconds still to go. Gremlins are certainly not going to let off the gas. In fact, there's gas on that left wall. Gets that first fake. Tims will knock it back forward. Caleb is on his lonesome. Will go for the psycho yet again. The second touch isn't going to beat past Cobo. Stays close to the 50-50. Tims has to rotate out to the halfway line. It's just enough power to make that ball awkward and vital that the seconds continue to drop for the sake of Gremlins. But if it can increase the scoreline, that's surely game over.
It's 40 seconds. Post up. Need to find something, but you can see the domination at the halfway line from the Gremlins. It's almost an own goal from Cobo. It's not going to be a goal. Half a minute remaining. Post up, 1 goal down. They need to find something to keep themselves alive, but it's going to be Caleb on the double. Gremlins extend their lead, and that does mean they should be pushing through in the upper bracket.
Gorgeous. Throughout the entire day so far, we have been gifted with incredible Rocket League. This team has so much responsibility on its back to represent OCE as a region. This is a performance to be proud of, but the job is not finished. I was going to say it's Pangoli-esque, but I guess that's just how you do it over here.
Oh, it was almost fantastic. It was almost incredible. The Gremlins, I mean, you could use those words to describe their performance in this series regardless. As it drops down, the Gremlins secure a sweep in the first round of the GSL. Not that we expected any less, but geez, post up, they put up a performance. They tried to make it as awkward as possible. They just couldn't get the critical goals when it really, really mattered.
There wasn't a single facet of this game that I was disappointed with. Gremlins had so much responsibility behind them to have a good performance in this opening game. It's the one that's going to give you hopefully the biggest seeding advantage moving forward, because you don't want to end up in that lower bracket. It's only going to get harder before it gets easier. When you're scoring goals like this so consistently, Gus, it sets you up really nicely for that second series to get the easiest path to a championship. Top 6 auto qualification. That is the expectation. That is what they're showing us.
It's good to be here. It's fantastic to be here. The Gremlins, they're amazing. I mean, it's good content. It's fantastic. It's good to be here with you. It's good to be here with chat. And I mean, it's just, you know, we've got a Kiwi FIFA E representative in Caleb. We've got an Aussie E and C representative in Gus. They're doing exactly what they want to be doing. They're clipping on them. They're getting exactly the goals we want to see. And look at that. I mean, we can see the live updated, which is fantastic, because I did just have a peek over and see where the games are at, which I couldn't see. So I'm glad we're seeing that. Bogan's KK in a game 4. I'm interested in seeing how that one progresses. Of course, that is our opposition. Although, as you can see, Killua Hype as well with a 3-0 through there. And Dugstones, they've just secured their victory, I believe, just then, to move on through to the upper final. So it's only us waiting on our opposition as things stand. And while you yap, I'm going to see if I can find a team stream for that one.
Yeah, fair enough. Over on the opposite side, Packing Pros with the 1-2 deficit against Clashy Flick in that first game. We got MM taking those 3-0s as well in the opener. We called them the Monkey Moon fans. They're performing just like him with that performance. But hold on, I want to divert your eyes back towards your main monitor, Money. So what's this? I mean, I guess, bro, you were talking about the highest goal difference going against them. They've swept that first series.
Yeah, that's definitely got my attention. That's not at all what I expected. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's two players that I haven't really heard of. I'm going to be honest with you. It might just be me having an ego for some reason, but that is a performance to Unless, hang on, am I getting scammed? Is that a forfeit? Is that a forfeit? Let me look into this. I'm not seeing a forfeit. I'm not seeing one.
I believe it's usually listed as a forfeit.
I think
by
it's
good old
just
Hazza if it is one. So I think that is a fully legitimate result over there for I guess, bro. So that is definitely going to be a duo to look out for later. Of course, we talk about specialists in a given playlist. Usually that's reserved for 1v1, but hold on. Might be some new 2v2 kids in town. Maybe want to look out for 2027.
Had to check what year it was on that one.
Yeah, honestly, I get lost.
I can't blame you.
You just get used to a year, and then a new one comes, and you're just like, what's the point? What is the point? Why do I bother?
It's a bit darker than I was expecting us to go on the stream today, but that's okay. If you need a chat, my DMs are always open, Mr. Pick-Assist, all right? We do have Bogans against KK on stream, as you can see. It is a team. Well, it's a team in KK that I would have expected to do pretty solid in this one. Maybe if they take a game 5, then potentially that's what maybe the expectations could have stopped at, but Keckle's a player who has had a very good performance in the 3v3 arena this season. Creed and Prompt, 2 very solid players. But, I look at this and I go, I'm not too sure. Maybe this could have been, if I was to do predictions, the game 5, which right now it definitely looks as though it might be. And I just have to say, they've got the chat right over the statistics, and we've got an ad. Okay, fantastic stuff.
You know what's worse than having chat over the statistics? An entire Twitch Turbo ad. So you know what? I think they've had you on that one. I think that was checkmate just played. You fell for their trap card and they immediately pressed the ad button. I like to think that a person who is running this stream at the moment could hear you there and just decided to make you look a little bit silly on your own stream here.
They probably could, because I do believe it's a Rosal who is streaming, and he's a viewer at times. So there is a chance. Okay, Kraid has gone and got that one. Also, just to point it out here, Kraid, a Kiwi teammate of Caleb for the FIFA E. So, we'll see if potentially it can be Kiwi against Kiwi action in the next round if they can pull this back and then secure a win on Champions Field as well. But you said, Bogans are a side you want to see do well, because you are aware of at least Creed on this roster, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, casted for him when he played for Unforgotten Esports back in the day. Unfortunately, that was only, I believe, a top 16 finish, and it was their only ever open with the org for probably having a similar experience that I had with, at the time, Rocket League manager. But anyway, that included some incredible runs during the distance, during the Swiss stage. I believe that we ended up beating Ground Zero, who were a pretty decent team, I believe, at the time. So that was pretty incredible. I believe it was also casted by Ground Zero, so that was also quite a fun dynamic.
I'm just going to tune into the stream real quick here. I just want to hear what he says to my comment. I believe stream can hear this.
Money, we're building from the ground up. You don't know what's in store. Maybe I'm gonna snake has a prod from you. I'll take all the production. You can be.
He can get muted. Nah, you're not taking Hazza. That he's ours. Please, come off it.
Absolutely none of that. Absolutely none of that.
I don't think they quite understood what I meant as well. It's funny looking at the scoreboard, like looking at the bottom left score sheet and going, goals, and Aussie Bogan. It's interesting.
And they had to put in some effort as well to look at the goals past all the chat messages that got put in. So they really completely missed the mark there. But how dare someone try to break our thruple? It's just unacceptable. Also, we got someone in chat saying Banana Head not competing, and I actually watched your day 1 stream for OCE. Why is Banana Head not competing, Money OCE?
I've got no idea why Banana Head's not competing.
Well, no.
Can you stop asking this question?
that message was put in chat maybe like 30 times in the first 10 minutes. And I think 5 of them were me because I saw the pattern and I thought it was hilarious. So can you stop keeping your secrets? We all know you know. We all know you've been around the block over here in Ose. Why is Banana Head not competing?
He lost the territory war to his dog. So he's lost the shed.
Is he playing a shed?
You clearly don't. You clearly don't listen to the. They're not paying me for this, but you clearly don't listen to the officially unofficial podcast brought to you by Subpub and HD. You should go listen to the CJ episode if you want any more context, because I'm not providing it on this stream.
I will do.
So just definitely do that.
That's fair enough. Are you sure that wasn't a hashtag ad? Because we could get in trouble over here, and we're multi-streaming for this one, so I'd definitely get in trouble as well.
The disrespect that those guys show me, they don't deserve an ad. Gonna be honest, the amount of monies they call me is just ridiculous. So, I've met them, and they still managed. Like they called me Moni in person. Go back online immediately. They start calling me Moni. So I've given up. To be honest with you.
Do you know what you're doing right now?
No. I do.
Moaning?
But no.
Moaning. So I don't know.
That wasn't an ad.
I think
that was a minus.
I think Moni might be pretty fitting right now, actually.
Come on. Nah.
No, we'll stop. We'll stop.
Nah.
I already towed the line with fornicate with arachnids like to open up the stream. You know how when you make a YouTube video, as you do, by the way, guys, go over and watch Money OC's new vlog that came out. I actually haven't watched it yet, only because hold on, because I'm not going to do it whilst playing free play. I'm actually going to sit down and watch the entire thing through and through with no distractions. I was actually speaking to Hazza about this the other day. But on YouTube, you're not supposed to swear in the first 10 seconds. Otherwise, your whole video gets restricted.
Yep.
Opening up this stream in the first 10 seconds with that line I did was pretty risky with the Teamstream admins. But, we're still up, and I don't believe we've had any messages. And Creed has made it 2-2. So that's what really matters here, is that it is 2-2.
Now being asked, when is Evample playing and will Money be casting it? I assume Evample is probably playing as we speak, or was playing as we spoke, I suppose. And I will not be casting it. Unless, I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. There's no. I don't. Do I go out and announce something here? Because it hasn't been the most official product. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I guess that's kind of how OCE works.
I'm interested.
I suppose I'll leak it. Chat. We're making a return to the unofficial official type of branding for the OCE RLCS 2v2. So there will be a stream tomorrow and on Sunday. No confirmation exactly where it will be, but it will very likely be somewhere on top of also being here. So maybe you might see a Vample here tomorrow and you might see me casting him, but I am no way saying that's happening, and I have no idea if he's currently playing.
Who's currently the best performing OCE player right now? Do you not go on TikTok? It's a Vample.
It's Hazza and I after our 2v2 exploits yesterday.
Oh, that doesn't fill me with confidence there. How did that session go?
We may have won 3 out of 17 games.
Oh no.
Including all of our placements, yeah. So,
oh my goodness. So what you've done here is you've taken my twos teammate. Did you? Were they playing on your servers or in EU?
Yeah. We played a majority of OCE servers. We played one on NA West, and Hazza went, no, I like the ping being higher. So we went back to OCE.
You took my twos teammate, put him on OCE servers, which, to be fair, sounds like it was mostly his fault.
It was.
And you have absolutely destroyed his MMR. Our next few 2 sessions are going to be great.
It wasn't me. I hold steadfast in the fact it wasn't me. I was not the problem. And I'm going to be honest. If you put both of us on good ping, I think Hazard and I would have dominated. It's just a matter of, him communicating that he was like spawning back right, and then about, me 3 minutes later seeing him spawn, like already spawned, and then hearing the comm that he was back right. Was kind of a problem. So I think
it was
the comms more than anything. By the way, let's lock in. I want to hear Arosal's casting, because I want to see what goes on in this game 5 overtime. So let's just listen, and we can react with our faces instead of talking. All right?
Oh my goodness, if he didn't
okay.
Get that bump. That is a goal for sure. But 50. Prompt now, awkward. Oh, that's a goal. Oh, that's just... No.
It's a massive goal from Kraid to win it because they stopped casting for some reason. It's a massive goal for Kraid, and KK have won in game 5.
What you want to be.
Anyway,
to be fair, I'm with it. It's not their team. It's not that team's team stream.
It is.
You don't celebrate the opponent's goals. You don't celebrate the opponent's goals.
You have to.
No. That was a proper team stream right there. That was real pride. We're not going to get happy because we get sent to the lower bracket. That's for their team streamers to all celebrate. But my goodness, sweeps all round except for the game 5 there. Really holding off the bracket for us. We've got a Vampel as well, as previously mentioned, dropping down into that lower bracket after a sweep to play against fake prods, which is Electro and Cornets. Is there a chance here for Carola Vampel to make it to that mainstream so you can live up to your promise that you said before that you were going to cast him?
It was not a promise
that you made.
By any means, it wasn't a promise. Hazard, can we get back to the watch party, please? We have something to do really quickly. All right.
Oh.
You, sir, have the first guess.
Gus.
I love it. Fantastic. Gus is in chat, by the way. If you're not in chat, that's what's going on. So he's about 20, and he's not from Australia or OCE, which is very good. So I'm going to go a 20-year-old. We're going... Oh, let's go. You went OCE. Let me go EU. So let me go. What's a 20-year-old European? This is the part that I struggle with. The age is the problem.
Genuinely
I don't know the age of players. I just assume they're all like... I kind of assume
relatively young.
Okay, so let's go. Who's it? Ooh. I mean, more than one LAN appearance. You know what? Let's just throw it out there. Let's just go for Zen. Yeah, let's just... Okay, so he's 19. Oh, it wasn't even 20. He was 19.
Oof.
Nice. A lot less than 13 LAN appearances and not EU. So...
You don't even get the... You don't even get the region in this version
we know that they're not from... So, it would be like Orange if it was from the right region. We just don't know it's exactly their country, yeah.
Okay, so it could still be North America, is what you're telling me here. He was 19 years old in America. Is Daniel 18?
Any of the SSG?
I'm bad at the ages. No, they're really young. They're really young, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're like... Is one of them not 15 and one of them 17?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And I don't know how old the other one is. They have
People
the youngest
Daniel
team by far. We'll go for Daniel. We'll give chat. I
don't mind the Daniel shout. Let's see.
Oh, Wave, he's a good shout actually.
Oh, he's got more LAN appearances. So we should have considered that as well. Not from NA either. So it's the big 3 regions they're not from.
Is it counting Diaz as South American? How old is Diaz? Oh, Diaz is too young. Too young?
Yeah, it would count Diaz as South American, I think. It would count him as... I think it would count him as the region he's playing in currently, I believe. Anyway.
Oh, okay. That makes it tough.
Okay,
what's the part that highlights? Is it the team part that highlights the region?
No, it highlights the flag. I'm going to go... Okay, what's a... Ooh, I'm going...
Could be APAC still.
Am I wrong for I don't know. I was going to say Motta. I don't know how old Motta is. But I'm not minding the Motta shout.
Oh! There's LAN appearances.
Bang! Come on! I am very good at this. I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty good at this. Let's see.
What a core!
So, Secret, Brazil, of course, 19 and 9 LAN appearances. That's a good job,
Wow,
Hammer. That's you and I combining on that one, because I was about to say Motta, then you said Motta. I'm like, if I'm getting if there's 2 of us backing it up, then fair enough. Let's get back to our webcam, shall we? Mr. Hazardprod.
I was enjoying that.
Well, there's no more to do. We team pinched that, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, this isn't our stream. This isn't our face. This is. He doesn't listen to me, does he? What's he even get paid for at this point?
Press H.
Hey, that.
A 9.
Yep. Yeah, that's about all he does.
What else could an observer possibly do?
No, that's a good point. Aside from sit in the corner and watch Rocket League, that's pretty much all they do.
In a chair.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this is the meme, but this has been the meme in my stream about Hazard, doing
really?
that. Yeah.
I mean, your experiences in Paris would.
It was telling.
Yeah.
It was telling.
I'm not sure how deep we can get into that. Anyway, I've heard we've got a test lobby and we've just been kicked into gear.
Yeah.
We do have an upper finals to play, but over on this side it is Packing Pros versus the Monkey Moon fans, as we've called them. We got me and I guess, bro, who have been that shock team to take the sweep in that opening matchup to see if they can continue that run. Already got a top 12 guarantee, but a top 6 would certainly look nice if they can beat St. George Illawarra. But over here in Group A, this is where the boys are at. It's Gremlins time.
It is Gremlins time, and we did skip over that one, but I did want to say Packing Pros, Super Lucky, and Baz. So that's a pretty big matchup there between them and Mock and Amphis. A pretty solid couple of teams, but for this one in particular, Caleb, Gus, and we did just see Cackles and Kraid on the viewing pleasure screen there. They get across in that occasion in a overtime in Game 5. Cackles, Kraid, 2 players who are, I can't really call Kraid an up-and-comer because he's, I think, 20. Cackles, he made his massive performance this season, in 2026. He popped up onto the field, started scoring very mechanical plays amongst a very mechanical team, was very consistent in scoring the goals as well, often led the Golden Boot race. And I mean, it does mean, I'm curious to see, it's clinicality against absolute just mechanical ability. It's mechanical ability across the field, I'm going to be honest, and I am excited to get into the action. It is the Gremlins, it is KK, a mechanical masterclass is on the cards here between these two sides. It's Kiwi against Kiwi, it's Aussie against Aussie, and it's time to get into our second series of the afternoon. Let's get into it.
Top 12 guaranteed. Let's cull the herd down to half. Winner of the series advances to top 6 in the newly announced official mainstream for the weekend. Money OCE will of course feature, but in that upper bracket, we'd like to see Caleb and Gus there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have kickoff yet again. Keckles and Kraid proving that they can fight a full series. Gonna have to fight pretty darn hard against this Gremlin side.
As I mentioned, Cackles, a teammate of Caleb on that international New Zealand roster for the FIFA E. Caleb looking to show why he's the better of the two Kiwis. But Cackles might have something to say about the Aussies. Trying to center that one. Caleb will be there in response. But it's an international affair here, realistically, in terms of international events with a couple of Kiwi internationals and as well as Gus, who did play at that FIFA E World Cup in 2024, but also a part of the roster going to the ENC for the Aussies. So a very international affair, as I said.
Great. Off the corner, Keckles. Just lets this ball get past. And is it Crowder? Is it Kraid? What am I going for here?
Okay, actually, I love this. Because before his first series, there's a chance here for the Gremlins, before his first series on the Rlcs 3v3 mainstream this season, he messaged me and said, "Can you please make sure to say my name right?" To which I responded with, "Is it any different?" That's off the crossbar. It's followed up. It's missed. And it's off the goal line. To which I followed up and said, "Okay, mate, how do I say it?" And he said, "Just how you normally do." What? So I don't know why he DM'd me and said, "Can you make sure to get it right?" Caleb puts that one away. There's a demo on Cackles. Kraid nowhere to be seen. And that is how you say it, Kraid.
Yeah, Crowder is a very European pronunciation of the name, I think, of Brentford football player Kevin Sharder. But anyway,
go ahead and say it like that.
Here. Should I just rage bait the opponent? I mean, it's not their team stream. This isn't a mainstream either, or even an official mainstream. I can do what I like.
To be honest with you, I said in the green room to the boys, he's just messaged me and said, can we get his name right? And they went, how are you meant to say it? And I said, Craig, like we all say, and they go, okay. And then we all proceeded to call him the wrong name for the entire series. So go ahead. It's a part of the culture here at OCE.
That's perfectly fine by me. It's Keks on the backboard first. Caleb. It's a pass opposite. It's Gus. This is his moment. This is what he's been waiting for. Flip reset. 50s with Crowder. It's dunked across. Caleb is up high, and that will double the lead.
That is fantastic from Gus to get that reset. And then the 50 just drops the ball dead. Gus very well could have got back to it himself. Craig was in behind, almost making that save. Wasn't to happen. I keep getting things pop up on my screen, and Hazza likes the fact I'm the only caster to ever call him out on it. But like sometimes I see things on my screen and I don't know if it's on stream or if it's just for me, and I get very confused. But he has just shown me a picture of myself for absolutely no reason. So if I ever just go off topic, you know why.
If only there was a new goal explosion that we could show right here on stream on the next goal. Maybe Gus can give us the early signs of it. No, Caleb off the backboard. Gus picks up yet again. Keckles will clear to the corner. Bumps landing on Crowder. Will create some space at that back post. Caleb will hunt for it. Gus on a rotation. Has the shot on. It's a great save from Keckles.
And Karate got a touch away. Caleb into the corner. Good follow-up. Might find the bump. Gus gets demoed. That's a massive opportunity. It's going to be on target. Can he respawn and get there in time? No, he cannot. It's Karate with the save and that with the goal. And that time, it was my face appearing on screen, and that's why I get off track. Oh my goodness, I do not like Hazaprod.
Titanium White Nuke was possibly the foulest goal explosion to have of you lifting up your fringe on that last goal. That is cruel, especially because that was our first time seeing the goal explosion of that player. Caleb, I'm going to pull off anything here. They attempted that musty flick and thought they would respond with some mechanics of their own. Gus has to keep it simple now, though. No boost of a tank. It's a ball across. Keckle to set up for the double tap on the redirect. He knows what stream he's on.
Oh, this is why it could be a dangerous series for either team, because they are both so good on their counter-attack. You see the speed to get up for that touch. The back wall was absolutely open. No one home from the Gremlins. They get comfortable. They send themselves forward. They know that they can score goals, but it can leave them vulnerable at times, as we saw just there. And, well, KK have found a way back in. They've absolutely found a way back in. They looked almost down and out after the first couple of minutes, and they're starting to create more and more chances. Gus will leave that. That's actually very team-oriented plays, but overall, it almost left them in a dangerous position as a demo came through, not to be on that occasion.
Politeness, though, drops from Gus with a lot of these mind games coming into play. Caleb is going to have to catch this ball on the rotate. Crowder doesn't get that flip reset. Drops down nicely for the one-on-one, and the air dribble bump is attempted. But both Ks recover, both challenge, both now low on their own goal line, with Gus picking up the reset. But it won't make it through. Caleb keeps the ball in the danger area. KK are not out of the woods yet. Gus is going to pounce on this opportunity as well. But it's an excellent first touch from Crowder. The pass is good as well. But the low boost on the counter-attack isn't going to set up nicely. Back out towards the wings. The fifth goal will surely be golden.
Here's Cackles. Well, he just sends it long. Gets by Gus. Caleb won't be beaten there. I would have liked to see some control from Keckles there instead. He sends it long. Just take a touch. Play for yourself on that occasion. Craig hits that one to the ceiling. It's going to be Caleb to respond first. Goal to reset. Keeps going. Caleb! It's crossbar down and in!
Unbelievable from Caleb. Takes to the skies again. And that is exactly how you want to see it end. Straight off the crossbar, as aesthetic as you could call for. And this is before Forbidden Temple.
Oh, they found a potential winner. KK have a chance to respond here. Kraid, he's given too much on that touch. Drops down. Gremlins take game 1, and they did it in style. My oh my pig. That was a game of all games to see a winner like that.
Well, we've already been told by the producer, Hazard, that we have got quite the replay package to go after that first game, and this is the first of a potential 5, hopefully only 3. It was a scary first opportunity there to go against KK, but then Caleb off the ceiling takes it across. No dunk, it's a demo instead. Back up again, flip reset, takes it over. Crowd is tested on the 50. Gus wanted to put it in himself, but Caleb interrupts. What is going on? But it's Caleb beaten by Keckles. Redirect double tap. How many more mechanics have you got? Surely that's it. No, it's Caleb once more. But what are we doing? What kind of Rocket League am I seeing as UE6 come early? Is this what we're in for?
Oh, there's not many more players around in OCE that I think would provide a more mechanical matchup than we are seeing in this 2v2, and you're seeing exactly that. And we still get to go Forbidden Temple, so, you know, we'll get to see a massive pop-off moment from Gus in this one. That's exactly what we expect when you see this map. It's going to be Gus to step up at Gremlins. They found a way to win. That's what they do. That's a mark of good teams. Gus will look to score the opener. Keckles with the save, and I have to also say, I absolutely appreciate the fact that you've stuck to not calling Kraid by his name, and for that, I love you.
Been given an inch, I'll take it. A couple thousand miles from EU over to OCE. Caleb
has ignored me saying I love him, but, you know.
No, I love you too.
Oh, thanks.
You know, more than you could ever imagine. It's not often we as men appreciate each other, and it's the time of month for men to appreciate each other as well, for 2 different reasons, actually, that are both extremely important.
I wasn't expecting it to get as, you know, heartfelt as that was, but I can absolutely appreciate that. I love you too. There is Rocket League being played though, so maybe we should get back on track and talk about that.
No, you're right. You're right. Gus off the ceiling. Down to Caleb. Sets him up nicely for a potential reset instead. Just settles for the soft touch. Wanted to lay it off to Gus, but a little bit of indecision. Is matched by the confidence of Crowder. Up high, up quick, little boost of a tank. It does not matter. Knows that any touch on target is surely going to be a goal. Okay, I've also just seen something that I don't like to see in chat. So I look at the left-hand side of my screen, and it is Hazard informing us that Avampol took a game in lowers, and I'm very happy. And now look in chat, he's down 6-2. He's down 6-2 now.
We were told Avampol took a game in lowers, and then the chat message is Avampol losing in first game.
Oh, no, it was second game. It was second game. We got a correction.
Okay, so don't listen to that guy. That is not a good news source to react to. Good to know.
The new follower, by the way, from earlier in the stream, and that was the first time being mentioned by the great Money OCE.
Well, if you're going to be in my stream, you've got to get it right, is all I'm going to say. We haven't been treated to just as many goals in this game so far, which is very unfortunate. I will say, it was very kind of them to wait for us to finish our long conversation earlier to score the first. But, you know, I would like them to score another one, and Caleb looks to do that off the back wall. I think Gus was setting himself up off the back wall as well. I don't know where he is. He's waiting. What? It's Caleb going alone. Gus on the follow-up. Should score. Does score. We're tied up.
My jaw is to the floor yet again, and it's Caleb to get the setup play, but it's the Rocket Ruse himself. Pops himself up high, gets the job done. Both players had already committed. It's another open now, and I tell you what, they haven't been missing those today. I've been sold a dream with what I saw in the 3v3 portion.
I'm glad you call it the Rocket Ruse. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you very much. I came up with that name, if you didn't know. So
I didn't. I thought that was... That's what they were called.
No, I called them the Rocket Ruse. I was watch partying in their stream for the FIFA 2025 World Cup. Called them the Rocket Ruse. I sent CJ a message and said, "Mate, you've got to mention Rocket Ruse on the main stream," and he went, "Bet." And he did. And, you know, ever since, it's been the Rocket Ruse. So thank you very much for bringing that up, and I got a chance to flex. Thank you.
Wow. This is actually life-changing to me. I thought they would just call that this entire time. Just a pioneer of the OCE scene, clearly. Keckles. Oh, doesn't get that reset somehow, I'll be honest. Was relatively robbed. Goss, shot from deep. Caleb already landed that bump. And this is such a taunting play to land on your opponent. You've got nope, going to rotate back. You've got a shot to defend. Unfortunately, that shot's a bit too good for you to reach.
I think I've seen a camera observer man Hazard on EU service for a moment there, because Craig landed on the wall and went through the wall. So that was a scary little moment. But, you know, he couldn't get back in time. That's even more scary if it was an actual thing that happened on OCE. That's dangerous from Gus. He somehow hit the post and have found a way out. Caleb now on the double. He's so consistent. You set him up for a play like that. Caleb is never going to miss. And before it haunts me later in the series when he misses a double tap. But seriously, he does not miss.
Gremlins have had that fear factor during this second game. That's the second goal in a row where KK have seen someone go for a mechanical play on the solo, and both of them have jumped up at that front post, left the net completely open. It was a bit of a tougher angle to try and play, but of course you've spoke about the efficiency that they've had in front of net. That does not end now. If they continue to hop too early on too much of Gremlins' opportunities, we're going to see some very one-sided deficits as this series continues, and it'll be safe to say that it'll be the final series of the day as well.
Joss left that one. Leaves that one as well. Caleb doesn't leave that one, so that's nice. It wasn't a bit that they were doing there. They actually do want to hit the ball at times, although Craig is looking to do something with a little bit more impact that time round. Tackles has the boost from out wide, won't be able to get around it as he would have liked. It feels as though time is ticking on down too quickly for KK to find a response. Craig does move this one out to the wings. Good control, has Caleb in company, has to get around him. Now the infield, Keckles, he's missed his shot, and one of the sharpest shooters in OCE this season. He couldn't hit the mark when it absolutely mattered.
Oh, Caleb almost goes all the way. The second touch just sends it towards the corner. Keckles doesn't have any boost to refuel. Gus used a little for the recovery, sends it back down, wants the 50 underneath, but Crowder isn't going to fall for that final trick back towards the corner. Caleb will have 100 to hold. Went for a pogo setup? Am I going insane? Sends it back towards the corner. That's going to be the closer for this second. KK wants a goal for the road, but Gremlins are keeping it up, but Gus isn't going to get that cut in time. I'm sorry, was that a corner pogo that I saw attempted with 5 seconds left? And only 100 boosts. I mean, this is free play. We had, as it was called by JC Hammer earlier, a 300 boost play from Gremlins. But surely that one was pushing the boat a little. That was pretty ambitious.
Look, we did see a play earlier where I'm pretty sure, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the two from the Gremlins, of course, that hit the ball to their own back wall in hopes of hitting a psycho and then set up the opposition for a goal. So I feel like we've come to expect those plays from the Gremlin boys as we see these highlights. KK did get off to a decent start. You know, they did find that opener, and then it just sort of went bad from there. Craig just had to watch that one. Also had to watch from that tight angle that he couldn't score at Gus, but Caleb, I mean, it's the double taps. That's exactly what we expect. I think
I'm not sure that was as deliberate as I initially thought. I'm undecided on that one. You know, we'll ask them afterwards, and I'm sure they'll be completely honest in their response, so that's okay.
Yeah, these guys tend to be honest, I think, when it comes to these things. So I'm sure if we ask, he'll tell us the full truth and only the truth and nothing but the truth as we get into Game 3. It could be a very straightforward day, and that's, you know, on one hand, it's nice. You know, I get to get on with my day. On the other hand, it's very upsetting because I don't get to see more of these guys and I don't get to continue to cast with you this afternoon.
Yeah, you really fulfilled your responsibility for being their team streamer in this 2v2. You got them out of bed. They haven't had a single DQ. And as a result, we've been able to see some great Rocket League on the pitch. And that continues in Game 3.
There's a very neat move from Gus around the corner and sets up Caleb well. And look, they have Gus on this team. It's not my responsibility to tell Gus when to check into the lobbies. It was my job as the Bulldog streamer to tell them. So Caleb, potentially. But I think Gus, he's on top of it. They've got an organization. They're paid to do it, whereas the Bulldogs are not paid to check in. So I think there's a slight difference there. That's why they're doing so. Of course, the Gremlins, not an organization, but if anyone wants to make a Gremlins organization, let us know, because I'm sure that they'd love to participate in a team like that.
And will it still be your responsibility to wake them up for that? Is that what you get assigned to do alongside the Teamstream, or... Because I feel like that's got to be negotiated. I mean, it was an expectation for the Bulldogs. Why would that change now?
For anyone that's missing the context, I did team stream for the Bulldogs this season, which has involved Caleb. That's a shot wide of the mark. Also involved Kaka and Hunter. They forgot to check in for the first series of Rlcs 2026. Caleb, he's controlled that beautifully. Oh! He's not going to find the double. Keckles got there. He somehow flings himself back to the wall. Keckles might even be able to set up an assist here. Just too much on that touch. But that is what we're talking about. Yeah, Caleb did forget to check in for their first ever series in the Rlcs 2026, and that's why it's being referenced.
And they blamed you for it. I think it's important. But Caleb has woken up on the right side of the bed today. The mechanics have been consistent. He's buzzed and awake. It's a flip reset on the redirect to keep the ball in control. It's another double jumpy play coming from KK. He ends up with a team bump, but either way, they had them beat every single time. It's a great kickoff as well towards Gus's position. Has 100 boost. Has already beat pass 2. It's a very heavy pass forward. Caleb, though, will set it up on that backboard. It's as close as an open net for a player of this quality.
Oh, he should be scoring there. I said he's consistent from the double taps, and, well, he's let me down there. It was a tight angle. It was a difficult one. I'm not quite sure if I'm agreeing with the free net for a player of his quality. I think it was definitely a difficult one to score, but those are the ones you see Caleb score on occasion. Does take it around the corner here. Craig will take over. Now moves it swiftly into the midfield. Looks for a musty. Didn't really get the connection. And that's sent straight back down the other end as Keckles looks to potentially control it, which is better. I want to see more of that from Keckles, or at least I've wanted to see more of that from Keckles in this series. But Gremlins, they just move it side to side. They get the opportunities. They keep creating their own chances. Although Craig with one drops down. Keckles with a strike. And they're back within one.
And they've been able to keep this series close in certain moments. Plays like this definitely increase those chances. Oftentimes it is those high vertical 50-50s that have got in the way of KK when it is past that halfway line. Take a man a bit more patient. It's defense when they start to lose that bit of rotation. So for the remainder, they'll looking to iron out those mistakes in their own third and trying to shut down all of these flip resets that are being thrown at them. Caleb self-set up on that left wall. Wants to find Gus on the opposite of that tab. Beats the first man. Has the reset, but ends up intercepting Caleb, who surely had that third goal on lock. Instead, it could be equalizers. Caleb makes up for former mistakes. And now it's Crowder on the back wall.
Good midfield ball. Caleb no boost. Couldn't make too much of it. Grade takes over. Does have some to work with, but very quickly out of boost. Keckles, he's awkward. It's a 1v1 situation. You don't want to be against either of these Gremlins in a 1v1, but they've done very well to give credit to them. Gus somehow collects that boost and somewhat left the ball behind. Has to reposition himself. Left it for Caleb, who'll put one down line. And I'm hearing Evampel isn't doing too well, so that is very unfortunate for Evampel. That's a demo. Dropped into the midfield again. Caleb in control. Gremlins are just very good at taking the time out of this game.
They really are. Keckles, though, has a chance to use the one moment they've been gifted on target. Just didn't have the power required to beat past Gus. This one comes down heavy off the ceiling. It's Gus yet again on that final line. Is going to be the final player on the pitch as well. Caleb was demoed, but quick on the recovery. Got to pick which side to spawn. Sets it up nicely. Down low for Gus. Crowder didn't have any boost to go high in the first place. Perfectly positioned. The sidewall to try and flush what KK attempted beforehand. This one doesn't break through either. 40 seconds still to try burn. But with what we've seen from Gremlins before, they're surely going to go for something special regardless.
Oh, it can be cheeky when you see those bumps come through. Leave the ball behind, go for the player, and what seems like an entirely disrespectful situation. Keckles, he's lofted that one. Caleb got a piece, but it won't be enough. KK equalized through Keckles. 20 seconds remaining, and well, I cast your attention back to game 1. It was a similar set of circumstances. Will there be a winner before overtime?
That shot was just perfectly high. You saw that they were covering that angle just below the crossbar. And with that crossbar hint, it sends everyone up. It gives you the open opportunity, but who says overtime is guaranteed because of Caleb, but a reset sends it through both! Up high, down low, too slow.
He is so good. Catches that reset, knows just when to use it. And Keckles couldn't get across in time. It's 12 seconds remaining. It's a 1-goal difference. Is there anything left for this orange side? It's a kickoff strategy, and it's gone horribly wrong. It's off the post, but they've got to go from one end to the other.
They still have life with 3 seconds left to go. It's high up as well. These are the 50s that KK have won throughout this game, but it will not come. Gremlins 6-0 their way through the upper brackets. They look to be the main representatives for OCE, and with performances like this, that continues to be a reality.
Oh, they just have a way of winning games, no matter the circumstances. Pushed to the limits at times, although never really pushed into overtime. That's a situation that you look at for the Gremlins. They've just been so good at scoring goals when required. We'll see some of those plays right now, as you can see the opener. I mean, that was a bit of misfortune, I'd say, from KK, but this one was just so good from Caleb. He really stepped up in this game, didn't he? That being said, it was a way back in for KK. It was a close game for all but 7 seconds as Keckles looked to equalize there. It was a nice cheeky lob, and then the follow-up was too good, but Caleb saw that and said, you know what, we're not going overtime. We're getting the job done in regulation. Thank you very much. We secure a 3-0 and another 3-0.
And saved a lot of time as well for producer Hads, as we only ever had to put up this winner graphic for Gremlins at the bottom of our screen. It's been a wonderful team stream for us. There's been no goals in overtime. We've been forced to not celebrate and just let run over, because look how gorgeous of a bracket we got today. Was actually pretty tough opponents, I would say, for both series, all things considered, fair money. We definitely got to see Post-Up show us some of that 2v2 ability in that opening series, but it warmed up Gremlins nicely. They were still able to take it over the line, and then against KK, that confidence only continued. They've set themselves up really nicely for the unofficial official stream on the weekend.
I'm seeing that game 4 between Killua Hype and Doug Stones. Doug Stones being Scrub and Dougie, so a couple of players that could do some damage in this event as well, but it does give me some confidence for this Caleb and Gus side. If they're seeing the opposition drop a potential game, potentially even dropping more, not sure what the situation over there currently is, that could give some extra benefits, some extra mindset for the Gremlins going into tomorrow and on Sunday. You keep talking about the team that wants to be at the top of the region, the representatives of OCE, yet not necessarily internationally. They don't get to go over to the World Championship, but they get to have a cheeky little, you know, they have the tag. Well, I assume there's a tag. I haven't been told, but surely there's a tag for OCE. I've got no idea, and the series has just updated Killua Hype with a 3-1 series in the other upper final as well. We'll have a look at what's going on elsewhere. MM and Packing Pros going to a game 4 as well, as is, I guess, bro, and also St. George, which is not what I was expecting. This team must be a fantastic 2v2 unit, because taking Kaka and Fiber to an extra game is not what I was expecting from them when they started the day.
I mean, Nerve and Laxin were able to do it in that first round, but you'd somewhat expect it from those two if they're performing well enough. Chances are, if I know the players' names over here in OCE, with this region definitely being the one with the least experience, there's definitely got to be some weight behind those names for sure. But, you know, I'm going to take note of these names, Quicks and Sebi, because moving forward, they're definitely going to be a duo to look out for, especially if their 2v2s can match their 3v3 prowess when we're looking ahead at 2027.
I'm very interested to see that team play. I hope they do continue to perform. I want to see I guess, bro, jump onto the unofficial official for tomorrow. That would be fantastic. I have no idea if they will, but it would be nice to see. But there's some teams around there that I do expect to do damage over the course of the next couple of days. Gremlins, you know, we keep saying it. They look very good. They look the business. They look fantastic. They are two of the biggest 2v2 grinders in OCE, and they play a lot of twos together as well. You can see the chemistry out there, but there are teams. You know, you've got your Torsos, you've got your Fever, you've got your Scrub, your Dougie, your Mock, your Ramphis, your Karka, Fiber. Also, Super Locky and Baz looking to do some damage at the moment as well. There's a roster out. There's a few rosters out there that could pose them problems, but I mean, surely there's a potential bias here from you. But you know, do you see anyone beating this team come the end of the weekend?
If they are moving like they move today, absolutely not. When their mechanics are at full gear, they look close to unstoppable. You're looking at plays where you don't expect anything to come out of it, and then making the impossible possible. That's what makes the good teams great. Anyone that's making a top 16 in frankly any single RLCS region is good. They'll do the fundamentals. They'll do what they need to do. And still, you'll see them squeezed out of these series by some of the top teams in the region. That's because you need a little bit of magic to top anywhere in the RLCS. And this team has exactly that. We've had wonderful moments throughout today in frankly every single game from Caleb and Gus when they've showed that they have that X factor about them. If they're on the back foot, they can pull off a masterclass and start bringing it back with some of these goals that bring confidence. And when they take the lead, they hold it. And if they're against a side that they struggle with later down the line, Money, they know how to run down that bloody clock.
Oh, they absolutely know how to do that. Oh, I feel like I've seen too many of these games where they just go, 1 goal, 2 goals, it's fine. We'll close it out from here. But that being said, we have to close out the stream from here. It has been an absolute privilege bringing you the coverage with Sir Pegasus. It has been phenomenal. The gameplay has been phenomenal. And it's only the start of the weekend. If you missed it, we do have an unofficial, official OCE mainstream this weekend. There'll be more information pending. Check out socials potentially for that one. But there will be some announcements. There will be some cheeky potential. You know, maybe we'll bring some people in. I don't know, maybe. It's not my place to say, but it should be some absolute banger series. We've got Gremlins, you've got Killua Hype, you've got the Packing Pros, you've got absolutely everybody looking to perform this weekend. But who will come out? RLCS 2v2. It's been a privilege bringing it to you on Redirect Esports.
Time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't see